Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Planet for Tech. I hope you all are doing great and learning lots by watching all the continuous episode of this series Python Beginner to Master. So guys, till now we have completed 19 episode of this series and today in the 20th episode I am going to describe you inheritance by practical. So here I have mentioned part 2. This is because inheritance by practical means we have already discussed this inheritance concepts and its theoretical aspect in episode 19. So if you are new to this channel, if you have not watched the episode 19, so first watch the 19 episode, then after watch the episode 20, because if you are not watching the episode 19 and you are directly trying to understand this episode 20, so this will become a very uh, tough for you. It seems very tough for you, so it is I am recommending you to watch the episode 19 first before moving ahead. So I am just adding the link of episode 19 here in the top of the screen, so from there you can find and you can understand the theory aspect first, then after you can start this practical aspect in episode 20. So let's start this. So in the episode 19, we have covered all this inheritance concept theory and definition. This is the diagram and all the type of the inheritance. We all have completed that part and the type of the inheritance we have discussed there. But in this episode 20, we are going to discuss few new terminologies. So there are some object keyword and the init method and the super method. So these all three we are going to understand here in this episode. So let's start my VS Code and we can understand this there only. So guys, you can see here in the VS Code, I have just written a single program. So this example is similar to what we have discussed in the episode 19 in the theory part. So those only we are going to understand here. So to have the better and concise knowledge. So you can see here in the previous episode I have shown you like how to create the class. So for that we need to use the class keyword and the colon operator we need to use to specify like this is the beginning of the class, and inside the class we can have the method. So here I have created the method by the def keyword. You can see this is the method, and I have also mentioned in the previous episode like for every method that is inside any class, we need the first argument to be self. This is not required to keep it self. You can keep other also, like if you want you can keep it common or whatever you want, you can keep it, but this is the commonly trend we are using the self. It means what? This this particular object, this is the object. Actually this object is going to have all the information related to the class, and its value we don't need to provide. Its value are getting provided by the class itself. We don't need to provide the information for this argument. So here in the definition you can see we have two argument, fuel and the fuel amount, sorry, self and the fuel amount. But at the time of calling here in the line number 8, we don't need to pass the value for self, because as I told, this its value is going to be provided by the class itself. We don't need to set the value for this. So here I have mentioned as 100, so this 100 is going to be assigned to the second argument, that is the fuel amount, because the first argument we don't need to worry about that because this is being taken care by the class itself. So here you can see I have created this method here. One thing you have noticed, like this is the name of the class, then what about this object? What is this? Why we are using this there without having the information? So let me describe you this first. So guys, you can see this is the first point of today's class, object keyword. Why we use the object keyword? So object keyword is nothing but the root of the all the class. You can see mention. So let me make a note for you. It is the root of all the classes in Python. So it is similar to the Java. Like in Java, there is a one object class, Java object class, which is a root for all the classes. In the same way, in the Python, we have the object keyword. So that object keyword we use inside the class declaration. So there we use it, this object keyword, because it is the root of all the classes in the Python. It means uh, if you are creating any class, definitely it is a base class, because the parent class is what the object class whatever being provided by the Python itself. So if you have any class and you don't have the custom parent class, so definitely it is the child of your can say the object class. So all the classes are directly or indirectly the child of object class, which is the root of all the classes what we get in a Python. Now this, I hope this is understood, like this is very common for all the classes. If we are not defining the parent, so by default the parent is what? Object class. One more time, let me repeat it so that you can make a note. If we are not providing the parent class name in the class, so by default it is taking parent class as the object class, which is defined, which is provided by the Python itself. So this is all about this object keyword here we are using. Now this is the method, we have already understood this, and this is the print command here. So here I am calling this method is taking one argument and returning nothing. Instead of that, it is printing the statement here. So here in the line number 7, I just created the object. These all are covered in the previous episode, episode 18. So you have to watch actually all the episode from beginning to end so that you can have the better understanding, and you are ensured like you are on the right way to become a beginner to become a master from beginner. So this is the objective of this series, to make you to move you from beginner to master level. So this in this line number 7 we are just creating the object, we are creating the object here, and in the line number 8 we are calling the can see the method. It is a member method of this class. Here we are calling and we are passing this argument 100. So let me show you the output of this class here. So you can see here its fuel capacity is, it is saying like 100. So this way guys, we can see like this class and object is working. Now we are going to understand the concept of the inheritance here. So like in this in this previous episode 19, I have shown you the this example. So this example we are going to take it here in the practical way. So you can see here in the diagram we have the parent class, that is vehicle, and this parent class is going to have the method fuel amount and capacity and the apply brakes. So these three methods I'm going to write inside the vehicle class. So the first one is already written there. Now next I'm going to make this next definition. So we have to maintain the indentation, then only we can understand like the structure is proper or not. You can see here. So this is the first method, this is the second method, and the third method I'm going to write. Let me copy it there. So this is the third method. The first method is fuel amount, and the second method is you can see capacity, and its capacity is, let me make capacity is whatever value we will pass, that we can use it here. Let me make it cap, and I'm going to apply brakes. So this is the third method. So brake apply, it is, let me make the sentence meaningful, applying the brake. So instead of saying it is, let me make the name of the object whatever we are going to have. So one more thing we are going to understand here, that is the init. Init is nothing but method itself, but it, as we are not going to call this method from our side, it is getting called automatically by the class itself. That is why it is called as the constructor. We don't need to call it by ourselves, it is going to be called automatically. So this is called as the constructor. So I will describe its definition as well. So here you can see the next point we have to understand, that is the init. So init is what? It is a method. It you can say it is a method, but known as constructor of class. So this is known as the constructor of the class. So what it does? Why it is having the special name constructor instead of saying simple method? It is a constructor. Why? So because it is having few special qualities, so that I'm going to mention here. So we don't need to call this method, but it is automatically called once we create the object of this class. So once you will create the object of this class, it is getting automatically called. We don't need to call it externally. Now, what is the use of this? What is the use of having the constructor? So what it works? So basically, it is used to initialize the class data member, or we can call it class properties. Class properties. So this is the use of this constructor, guys. You can see, and why it is called as constructor special name, because we don't need to call it auto, and it get automatically called by the class once its object is getting created. So this we are going to understand here. So here I'm creating one variable name of vehicle. So this I'm going to maintain here, self dot name of name equals to nothing but the name of vehicle. So guys, here you can see I have mentioned one variable name here. You can see here that variable name is data member name is name. So as I have shown you, like this constructor is used to initialize the data member of the class, or you can say the uh, data, properties of the class. So this class is having one property, that data member is the name. So we have used initialize its value by this value. So this is the constructor. Now let me create one object of this. So as per our previous example in the diagram, you can see, so this class can have three different child classes: car, bus, and vehicle. Car, bus, and trucks. So it is by mistake typed as a bus truck. It is actually truck class. So you can understand this. Now let me show you. I'm going to create three child classes out of this parent class. So you can see this is the parent class. You can say, let me make a note here. Parent class. Now I'm going to create the child class here. So the first child class car. So how we can create this? This is also a class. So car, but this time, this particular line you have to notice here. At the time of creating parent class, we have passed object. It means parent class, which is vehicle, is the subclass of object root class. So this object is pointing to the root class which is provided by the Python. But we are going to create the car class, and we want, like we have to use its parent. That parent is nothing but the vehicle. So here you have to see, like here we are passing the object, but here we are passing the name of the class which we have created. So this class car, so car is the child of vehicle. The same way, vehicle class, which is a parent for our program, but in Python, this vehicle is the child of object class. So object class is the root class for all the classes. So here you can see, so this is the child class we have created. So this is the way to create the child class. So this is the parent name, parent class name, and this is the child class name. So here I'm going to call these three methods. But right now we don't have anything to write here, so we can use the pass, because this statement I have already shown you in the previous episode. Like we can use the pass keyword if we are not having anything to define there, or else let me create one method so you can understand it without having confusion of display. Print I am car object. You can see, just to understand it better way, I'm just creating this object there. Now let me create the another child, that is the bus and the truck. So this is the next child. I'm going to make it bus. Again, this is using the vehicle as a parent. So I am bus object, you can see. In the same way, I'm going to have another class, another child class. So this is nothing but the truck, and it is also using the vehicle parent. I am truck object. Here we have to mention. So guys, you can see here we have created these three child classes from the parent vehicle. So this is what we have understood in a 30 part. So you can compare this diagram. One parent vehicle class is there and three child classes we have created by using that parent class. So this is what these are the three child classes: truck, bus, and car, and this is the parent class vehicle. Now we are going to use these three methods which is coming from its parent itself, and all the child class is having their own method as well. So when we will create the object for this child class, so that object will be able to access this method which is the uh, class its own method. Apart from this, it will be able to access all those methods which are being provided by the its parent. So we can see here the parent is having three methods. One is fuel method, fuel amount, another capacity, another is the apply brakes. So let me show you it one by one. I'm going to create the object for the first child class. So let me create one car. Uh, that car object we have to create with the help of car. Now we are going to pass here the name of the vehicle. So vehicle name I'm going to pass only car. Now with the help of this car object we can access the method of car class as well as the method of its parent, that is the vehicle. So let me call the display first so that we can see like what this is, and after that we can call car dot fuel amount. So here I can see the fuel amount is, let me see, 15 liter, and in the same way let me make it 15, no, 15 is sufficient, like this. And we are going to access uh, capacity. So here we have to pass some capacity. I can show you. Here we have to pass small, or you can say uh, small. We can make it, and small capacity. And the last method is nothing but apply brake. So here you can see we don't need to. This one we don't need because we are applying the brake directly. So we do not have mentioned the quantity here. So it is applying the brake. So instead of saying it is, we can have the name of the class. So we can pass it like here. In this way, let me make it. So this way we can have, but we need to have the formatter. So this way we can define to make it more appropriate masses. Now you can see. So it will show the name of the car as well. So we don't need to pass the apply argument here. Now let me show you by running this program. So going to call that, you can see, oh, sorry, it is showing an error. Car display takes zero positional augment, but one was given. Let me show you, let me see why this is message is coming there. So this message is showing because as I have told you in Python, whatever method we are going to have in the class, that will have at least one argument, that is nothing but this self we can use. So you can see this was missing, that is why we are getting that error. Now it is correct. Now let me show you. Here you can see I am car object. Car capacity is 15. Car capacity is small. So again it is showing the car capacity. It should be the fuel capacity actually. Let me make it fuel capacity. this way. So this way we can make fuel capacity. Let me show you again. So this time it is more meaningful message. I am a car object. Car fuel capacity is 15. Car capacity is small and car is applying the brake. Now let me create the child. I'm going to create the object for another child that is nothing but you can say here I'm going to create another object that is bus. So the name of the object is bus. Now instead of that we can have 150 and we can have big. Now let's run see the output. You can see here it is showing like the first time it is calling same thing for the car. Next time it is calling same for why it is showing the car again. Let me show you. Oh, we have called this car object here. That is why it is showing like that. So we have to use the bus. So before it, if you want, we can have the one print just to have the separation. Let me show you. Here you can see first time it is called for the car and second time it is called for the bus. In the same way we can call it for next that is what truck. So this time we can call it for truck. We can create the object truck here and we can call it. So you can see the truck is called here like this. Now we can have the 1500 and large. Now see the output here. So this time it is called thrice. The first time it is called for the car, second time it is called for the bus, and third time it is called for the truck. So we can see here one class we have created, that is the vehicle, and it is here we have defined the few methods, and these methods are going to be commonly used by all its child classes. So we have created three child classes: car, bus, and truck. But in these child classes we have not defined those common methods because those common methods are being supplied by its parents. So this is the place where we understood the importance of the uh, inheritance. So here you can see this way we can reduce the code complexity because we have written these methods only one place and we have used this multiple times, no matter how many times you are going to use it. So this is the line: inheritance reduces the code complexity. Now the second part is it increases the code reusability. So we can see here we have written one code here and that code is being used by car, being used by bus, being used by truck. So it is also justified. Inheritance increases the code reusability. So this is all about we have already discussed and we have already seen in our previous episode 19. Inheritance reduce the code complexity and increases the code reusability. So that is again justified by the practical approach we have seen here. So this is all about the inheritance, and we have already discussed its type, and there is a one more concept we have to understand, that is what about the superclass. So superclass is used, you can see super method, not superclass, super method. So super method is used to access the something which is available in both, like in a parent class and in the child class. So let me show. It is used to access the same data, same properties, you can say properties or method which are available in both place. When I'm saying both place means in parent and in child class. Let me show you. As you can see, in our all the child classes, we have one display method. Now, what happens if I'm going to write this display method inside the parent class as well? Let me write this method here also. So here you can see I have written the same display method. So, but this time this is not a truck, this is not a car, this is not a bus, this is a vehicle. So here we have to mention I am vehicle. Now you can see this parent is having this particular display method and its child are also having this display method. Now how we can differentiate which one we have to call? So for that we have to use the super keyword here. So what going to do, so we have to call the super keyword. So we know like this vehicle is a parent class and we want to call the display method of this parent class. So how we can do that? So let me write here, I am vehicle object and parent of, let me make it more meaningful, self dot name class. Now I am going to call this display method inside this here. So we can use super keyword, super method, not the keyword, dot display method. So I'm going to call this in all this. So you can see this line is, however, this child is having the display method, but when we are calling super dot display, it means it is going to call the display method of its parent class. Now let me show you its output. You can see here it is showing, sorry, it is self name because we missed the using the format. Here we have to use F. Now it is going to show us the formatted output. Now you can see here, so first time it is saying like I am vehicle object. Obviously this is a vehicle object and parent of car class. So here all the property of car is showing. Again it is saying I am vehicle object and parent of bus class, because this time this parent is utilized by the child bus object, and the third time the same parent vehicle is being utilized by the truck. So that is why I mentioned I am vehicle object and parent of truck class. So guys, we can understand the usage of init. Init is nothing but the it is a constructor, and super method it is used to access the data member or the member method of parent class. This comes in the picture when we have something which is very common in the child class and in a parent class also. So that time it is it becomes useful, the super method. So guys, this much for this episode, and we are going to understand new topics and new concept in the coming episode. So just start practicing if you have not yet started. So as usual, in last, if you have any query or questions, so you can ask in our comment. And if you want to join our social platform, so I have mentioned those links in in the description of this video. So from there also you can find the link. And if you have any query questions, you can ask in our WhatsApp number also. So this is our WhatsApp number. You can make a, you can send a message in this, and you can ask any query or question there. So one thing you have to notice in our social platform, if you in all the groups and channels you will find this logo, then only you have to consider that this is our Planet for Tech groups, because there are other groups as well, but those are not having this logo. So on the basis of this logo you have to identify the right group and right channel. So guys, thank you so much